Here, Helen Keller talks about how her teacher helped her to learn. Helen Keller became deaf and blind when she was very young. Since she was deaf, she did not learn to speak. So her parents were extremely worried. Once, they found Miss Sullivan, a teacher for the deaf and blind. That changed Helen's life. Here is an account of the turning point in her life, in her own words.
I still clearly remember that morning of the year 1887. I was just 7 years of age then. My teacher, Annie Sullivan, came to our house that day. Next day, she led me into her room and gave me a doll. I played with it for a while. Then, Miss Sullivan made some finger movements on my palm. It was an exciting experience. I got interested in that play and started imitating the movements she made with her finger. When I finally succeeded in doing that correctly, I was thrilled. I didn't know that I was spelling D-O-L-L. Some days later, we were walking in our garden. Suddenly, my teacher put my hand under the water tap. As the cool flow of water ran over one hand, she spelled W-A-T-E-R on my other palm. We played this game every day, touching different objects. It awakened my soul. I came to know that everything had a name. Now each name gave birth to a new thought. Every object I touched seemed to throb with life. Aha! I was connected with the world through all the words. Miss Sullivan used to take me to long walks every morning. I had a lot of questions to ask. I would write something on her palm, and in turn, she would talk into my palm as people talk into a baby's ear. My teacher satisfied my curiosity. Now everything around me was full of life, love, and joy. The second stage of our learning was more difficult. It was also based on the sense of touch. Miss Sullivan would speak a word and ask me to touch her lips and throat slowly. I learned to speak through the movements of the lips and the vibration in the throat. When I uttered my first word, it gave me boundless delight. Now I started talking with my toys, stones, trees, and birds in the garden. I felt amazed and delighted as my sister ran to me when I called her, and my dog obeyed my commands. I was able to speak. It was a miracle. Even when I studied seriously, it seemed more like play than work. Whenever anything delighted or interested me, Miss Sullivan would talk about that as if she were a little girl herself. She taught subjects like science by making it so interesting that I remembered everything she had taught. I remember my first day at Radcliffe College. I knew there were difficulties in my way, but I was eager to overcome them. The professors looked as away as if they were speaking through a telephone. The lectures were spelled into my palms as rapidly as possible. I would note down whatever I remembered when I went back home. Then came a dark cloud in my sky. I was very much worried about that. My teacher's eyes were becoming weak. Therefore, she could not see clearly. She was brave and fought against it. But I was sorry because she did not pay any attention to herself and continued to help me. She sacrificed her sight for me. I tried to persuade her to take rest and get her eyes treated, but she would not listen. What a great sacrifice it was! If she had not been there, I would not have enjoyed the beauty of the world. I cannot think myself apart from her. My heart always speaks. I love you, teacher.